morning, everyone. So, to start off, I want to ask you some questions that you can just answer in your head. Firstly, how many minutes do you think you've spent worrying about a situation? How many times have you not gotten what you wanted and ended up getting overwhelmed with regret and sadness? If I asked you to come up with a specific number, it would be too many times and minutes to count, right? But have you ever tried asking yourself in those moments if worrying about a situation will somehow make it better? Or if filling your mind with regret about the past will somehow change what happened? The simple answer is no, it won't. And I can guarantee that you will never come across a situation where it will. So do you want to spend even more of your limited time on earth repeating this behavior over and over and over again? Or do you want to learn how to accept any outcome, like it's the exact one that you wanted? Now, upon hearing this, some of you may be thinking, that sounds impossible. Or you might even be thinking, who are you and why should I listen to you exactly? Well, to answer that question, if your answers to the questions I just asked were a lot of times and minutes, then I don't really need to say much about myself, because that means we may be more alike than you might suspect. I, too, used to be so fixated on having the exact outcome that I wanted from every single situation that when things didn't end up working out, I would throw myself a pity party and wonder why I was so unlucky and why things never seemed to work out for me. It took me a while to figure out that I was in fact not as helpless as I thought I was, and I only felt that way because that was my mindset, because that was what I kept telling myself. Since it's Literacy Week, I did some reading on my own, and I found an interesting study from the premier undergraduate neuroscience journal that I want to share. So in this study, there were two groups of athletes, and they were given the exact same training regimen, except one group was told to have positive thoughts about training, and the other group was told to go about as normal without really thinking about anything. And what happened? Well, the group that only had positive thoughts about exercising actually experienced a 10 to 15 pound increase in the weights that they can move, while the other group only experienced a 5-pound increase. That may seem hard to believe, but it actually proves that your mindset is not just about your thoughts. It can affect your physical health, life events. Simply having positive thoughts about an activity or a situation can actually enhance the results. So, it's time to realize the importance of changing your mindset. All of my experiences wallowing in pity did not bring me any benefit other than the realization that it was all a waste of my time and energy. And since I don't want you to waste your valuable time and energy, I'm going to tell you how to get the outcome you want from every single situation. Now the secret is to just not care which outcome you get, and to think of any outcome as ideal, as something good. Now this might sound cliche and kind of like something that someone who has never really faced any difficulties in life might tell you. Something like, oh, just enjoy the nature and smell the flowers and who cares where life takes you. But while that mindset can be helpful to some extent, it's not the main idea that I want you to take away from this. And I'm not trying to tell you to give up on being optimistic or maybe anxious, because it is natural to feel those things. However, while you're feeling these emotions, I also want you to realize that nothing, and I really mean nothing, not even the things that have been booked and confirmed and planned for ages, is ever set in stone in life. The possibilities of life are endless, and I'm sure you know this too. So open your mind to all of the possibilities. Remember guys, we are IB learners, we are open-minded, and realize that any possibility, anything that may happen in your life has some kind of silver lining, and it brings some kind of good thing in your life, whether it's big or small. And we always want good things to come into our life, right? So really, what is there to be so upset about? Now, one way that you can achieve this is to replace any thoughts of doubt and anxiety with optimistic thoughts. You might always catch yourself thinking, What if this fails? What if something goes wrong and it all goes wrong? Because I can't lie, those were my thoughts right before I went on stage. But I decided to swap that out with thoughts like, what if it all works out? What if three things greater than what I can imagine happens? Because isn't not the same theoretical thinking, except one will leave you feeling a lot better, and the other will leave you feeling like everything is pointless and you don't really want to try anything ever again? So I want you to do those same things and swap those negative thoughts out. And this doesn't only apply to situations, but with people too. Like for example, someone acted in a way that you didn't expect, and it kind of hurt you, and you want to spend your valuable time questioning why on earth would they do that to me, to never really come up with a valid answer, because I know, like you probably know, people, they are complicated, they're unpredictable, and no matter how well you think you know someone, you will never truly know what's going on in their mind or what kind of things they're going through in life. So, in that case, instead of pulling your hair out of stress, maybe just consider approaching them and asking gently, is there anything going on? Or simply move on from the situation. Allow others to be who they are, and allow yourself to be who you are, instead of forcing yourself to be someone that everyone will like. I know in the age of having these new personalities and standards to fit in every single day, it's really hard to just allow yourself to be a normal person and not some kind of glamorous stereotype, but that's kind of the point. You need to let go of all expectations that you hold on how your life is supposed to be, and expectations that others may hold on how you're supposed to act. This is called the law of detachment because it requires you to detach yourself from any unrealistic expectations that you hold. Now, as a disclaimer, I just want to say that of course, this only applies to outcomes that are not 100% confirmed. So for example, you know that not drinking water will leave you feeling dehydrated. So I'm not telling you to not hydrate and just say, let's see where this takes me. But you do not know, for example, the outcome of a test you just took. So in that case, accept whatever outcome, learn from any mistakes you may have made, and just move on. It's definitely easier said than done. Reaching a point where you can accept anything that might happen to you is a long journey that I'm still working on. You might catch yourself still having those moments where you're having uncontrollable anxiety about the future, or you're having a breakdown filled with regret over something that happened in the past. And it's okay to feel those things. Just make sure that after that, you can take a deep breath, calm down, learn from any mistakes you may have made, and slowly fix your bad habits. Now, I hope this message stays with you, and it's not just going in one ear and out the other because you have to be here and listen to me. But nonetheless, thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you.